Hello everybody, welcome to a coffee vlog coming from Sam Dutton's house today with a live studio audience.
Oh, I can't wait for this to be happening. What is it? What is going? Yeah, let's have some of this happening now.
So coffee vlog, for people who don't know, is a show where I get on a comedian and we speak about comedy, life, movies and many other things. Today on the show we have Sam Dutton. I don't know why I say on the show because it's just
having a chat. Aren't we?
Yeah, we're just having a chat.
That's fine.
I have got coffee, but Sam said, "Can I just go with a beer?"
Yep. And a beer?
Yeah, so he's got a beer.
Heineken.
How did you say it first?
Heineken. Said it correctly.
First time you put a noise on it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Heineken.
Yeah, there you go.
Heineken, yeah. Now, Heineken is, I recommend it for if you want a lager that is average.
I don't drink, so I don't.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Luke.
So, Sam, if you want to introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, Vlogosphere. My name is Sam Dutton. I am a comedian from London. ASL, 29, male. Well, it's fluid, but yeah, it's 2019. Yeah.
Yeah.
Location London, already covered. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you gave people. I said just introduce yourself, but you gave them a little bit more.
Sure.
How did you get into comedy?
What, live comedy or just comedy in general?
Support live comedy. You know, you love it when you go to a
Oh, live comedy.
Yeah, live comedy. How did you get into or just how did you get into comedy in general? Yeah, just what inspired you? Okay. What made you go and do stand up?
So I wanted to do comedy from when I was like 16. I was massively into it, I think. And then it took me 12 years after that to actually do it, because just a shy little boy, really. And yeah, so originally I wanted to do it when I was 18, so I'm 29 now. So like 11 years ago, really, I wanted to start doing it. And I think the thing that stopped me doing it is I thought it was going to be like a Stuart Lee clone. Which I think
it's still a big thing. It's still a big thing on the circuit.
Yeah, it's a massive issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that or James Acaster nowadays. I guess you'd say is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
People just like leaning forward, go, oh, what's that? Oh, you punks. Anyway, yeah. But you see that quite a lot. But yeah, I feel like I wanted to be like a Stuart Lee clone, but I wouldn't have had the material to back it up. So I would have just been doing an impression of him. Should have just been an impressionist, really. That would have been fine. And then I just didn't think about it. I was resigned to the fact that I probably was never going to do it. And then it was, so like summer, 2017, I was out with some friends and got drunk, and he dared me to sign up for Comedy Virgins, like the mailing list. So it was like a month and a half in advance. I thought, I'll sign up for that. It's probably never going to happen. And then I worked really hard on it and did it. And it was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was absolutely fine. I worked really hard on that gig. I should work on my sets more. I've never worked as hard on a set than I did on my first ever one. It wasn't even that good. But yeah, it's fine. And that's how I got into comedy.
You still enjoying doing it?
Yeah, it's alright.
That's what I always like to ask people, just to see if they, yeah.
Do you know what, comedy is fine, but I don't know, I'm in a weird place with comedy at the moment where I'm not really doing many gigs. Like I used to do maybe like 3 or 4 a week. Now I've kind of cut it down to maybe one every 2 or 3 weeks. I get bored quite easily, like material. I like to, I'm not bragging by saying like, oh yeah, like amazing, turning over like a new 5 minutes every, a new 5 minutes coming out of my dick every like 5 minutes. Can you say dick?
Yeah, you can say dick. Yeah,
sure. But I get, I don't know. That's when because I quit comedy for like, I didn't quit comedy, like I stopped doing the gigs for like a month because I had a bad gig, and I think the reason I had a bad gig is because I've been doing the same set for like a month and a half.
You get bored of it, or?
Yeah, and it wasn't like, and I was doing like, that's when I did my most gigs back in like July last year. Yeah, July and August last year I did loads of gigs. I just hated it. I just got really sick of it, to be honest, after a bit. But no, I'm enjoying it okay now. As long as I don't do it too much, I think it's fine.
Are you enjoying doing the material that you do now? Are you sick of the set yet?
I haven't really got a set at the moment. So the gigs I'm doing at the moment, I'm kind of in a transition period from my old set to whatever it is I want to do at the moment. So I don't really. Yeah, I feel like I haven't been comfortable in a set for a while. I'd like to get like a nice. I hate it. Oh,
a nice tight 5.
Yeah, I know, that's what I cringed because I heard that in my head and I was like, oh god. I'm going to say tight 5 on camera.
Yeah, got a tight 5.
Tight 5. I don't care who knows it. Yeah. So yeah, I think I don't know. I'm in a weird place for it at the moment where it's okay. I like it. I like hanging out with friends. Like I won't do a gig if there's. I won't go into it, but there's a lot of gigs I won't do because there's like not nice people.
Okay. Yeah.
On the circuit, it's full of nasty people.
But
there's lovely people.
Yeah, there is some lovely people, but I think I've met a lot of nice people on it, like you and the other people from.
You're nice, Luke. I like your comedy.
Thank you.
I like your personality.
I like your comedy too.
Thank you very much.
Not sure about you putting. No, I'm joking. I like you. So the next thing we move from comedy. I tell everyone I'm brilliant at the segues in videos.
Sure.
What's your top 3 movies?
Oh yeah,
You told me this earlier. You said you're not really into.
Oh,
but have you still got a top 3?
Probably. I was thinking about it earlier because I'm a big fan. I've seen some of your bits before. I'm a subscriber.
I'm glad you're
a subscriber.
I've
subbed. I clicked that notification bell.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I haven't left any comments because I'm not.
I need those
5
comments.
years old, so.
I need them to say like sick vid or
sick vid.
something
sick
like
vid, man. Top 3 films. Okay. It's probably not. Yeah, I'm not one of those persons. I don't really carry around a list in my head, but the first ones that come to mind. Number 1 is Home Alone 2.
How come the sequel?
Yep. Good question.
Yeah.
Because it's a better film.
You think it's a better film?
Yes. It's got the action parts are better at the end. The slapstick's better. I don't know why. I looked on the IMDb rating for it the other day. And it's got like a much worse IMDb rating than. I guess that's the same for most sequels, but I think it's better in a lot of ways. I think the first one's just. The first one's really good, but I don't know. It's got like there's some good like callbacks to the first film in the second one as well that make it a lot better. And he's got the Talkboy, which is fun. I always wanted.
Searched up one the other day. I was like, that still looks cool. £290.
Yeah,
for a Talkboy.
I think I've still got one in my loft. Possibly, like my mum might still.
You had a Talkboy. I'm very jealous.
Yeah,
I'm very jealous right there.
Yeah, I had the original one he's got in the film, the grey one, and they had like a fluorescent blue one. I've seen it in the workings of it. They were great. Did you know? Interesting fact. They. Why are you laughing?
I wasn't interested. Did you know?
I did say it quite preposterously, to be fair. I tell everyone this fact. I think this is true. The Talkboy for Home Alone was actually a prototype, and not a prototype. Like it was a prop. Essentially. So it was never meant to be made into a thing, but because the film, like because of the popularity of the film, they actually made it into like a working prototype and then sold it to like whatever toy company owns Talkboy, and they created it because of that. So Home Alone is good. I'm sorry, Home Alone 2. Yeah, it's better. I think Juno had a big effect on me.
Yeah,
Juno is really good. Because I'd say that because it got me into a lot of music that I like nowadays.
Yes,
like, directly or indirectly.
Yeah,
like a lot of like nice kind of whimsical folky stuff, and like nice indie bands like Belle and Sebastian and like Kimmy Dawson, the Mouldy Peaches, and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that was really nice. It was lovely. And then, I think I watched that because I was a fan of like I was a fan of Arrested Development and obviously Michael Cera's and that. And then there was a lot of Michael Cera films I like, but that's the best one.
Is Jason Bateman in it as well, isn't he?
Yes, he plays.
He's the one that they're going to adopt the kid too. Yeah,
and then there's that weird kind of subplot that's like
he's like playing guitar with him or whatever, and then
that scene's really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that is odd. It's odd thinking back of it. But yeah, he likes Tic Tacs. I like Tic Tacs, sure. It's a great movie. What can I say? So that's nice. What else is a good film? Okay.
Yeah, you got your third one now.
Third one. Okay, I'm going to do a horror film. because those two would broadly be classified as comedies. The best horror film I've ever seen is a film called Eden Lake. Have you seen it? I bet you've seen Eden Lake because you're a big horror fan. I love Eden Lake. I like some horror films. I'm quite picky about them. I go for suspenseful ones. I'm not into slashers necessarily or gory stuff.
Oh, no, okay.
There is a bit of I guess there's
some violence, there's some suspense as well. Like
yes. Oh no, I'm not saying that. I think I prefer suspense over like gore.
Yeah.
Essentially. I think that's really good. It's really suspenseful the whole way. It's got a good twist at the end.
That's got a bit of gore in it. He's got the barbed wire on his him, and
that bit?
You know when Michael Fassbender's tied up.
It's not that bad.
He's got barbed wire like going through his wrists.
Yeah, but you don't
someone
really
comes over with a knife, starts cutting his face. One of the kids gets glass in his straight in his neck at one point.
All right,
the side of his neck.
Change my
gory
mind.
right there.
Change my mind. The Emoji Movie.
Yeah, that was best movie.
Best movie of my life
of 2017.
No, never seen it.
I saw it and I regret that.
Was it bad?
Yeah, it's terrible. But Eden Lake, no, I just the ending is. I tell people the ending in case they want to watch it, but it's very, very bleak.
Yeah,
bleak ending.
I think that's very good though. That's 3, isn't it?
That's 3. Yeah,
sure.
Television. That's because I see you have a bigger television.
Yes.
Collection.
There's some DVDs over there.
Yeah, DVDs. Just over, Sure. I'm not going to do a top 3. I'm just going to say what's your favourite television show?
Okay. At the moment, I have 2 shows that I always tell people to watch.
Emmerdale. Coronation Street.
I never watched it as well. It's really annoying how they never watch those 2 shows. It's really gutting. So the 2 shows I always tell people to watch, and they rarely ever take my advice because I think the problem with these 2 shows is they're too complicated, which is great for this. They're too complicated to kind of explain what they are. I think you'll know one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is Nathan For You. You need to watch. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Nathan For You. How would you describe Nathan For You? I always really struggle to.
I'd say it's almost right. Think of Dragon's Den, where people go on and try and give their ideas.
Yeah.
But instead, it's him going to people and trying to help them, just with. This is the way I compare it. Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, where he goes to places and try and helps people with their kitchen.
Oh, that's a good way to do it, yeah.
But instead, Nathan goes there and tries to help people with a business or something they want to do, but does it in the most obscure way to be like the first ever episode is him just being like, oh, you want to help your ice cream place? Why don't we do a poop flavoured ice cream? But we'd go to all these different places and try and actually get that flavour. Like,
I don't think the first episode is necessarily the best as well.
No,
I always
But that's one that I think starts off to actually give you the idea of, okay, this show is just going to be ridiculous the whole way through.
If I ever show someone it, I always recommend they watch the skydiving episode. Where what is the premise of that one again? Where he
I have completely forgotten now.
Oh, he basically. Oh shit! Cut this out. Oh, he's got like a bet with someone, I think, to go up there, and then he tries to, by proving a point, he goes up in the plane, and then he starts saying that I'm just really hungry. I'm really hungry all of a sudden, and then he gets down there, and then he's like, oh, do you want? No, I'm not lying. Like, I'm actually really hungry. Then because the flight instructor's kind of laughing at him for a little bit. And he's like, no, all right, come to lunch with me then. So like, it's just ludicrous, like leaps of logic where he just takes it so far. It's just so unnecessary, and it's all real as well. That's the thing about it. It's not scripted, but it's like the situations are scripted, but it's massively improvised.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So there's a bit where he goes, so he takes this guy to dinner, and because he said he's meeting a friend for lunch, and then he gets there and he goes into the parking lot, and you see Nathan run off and hand over some money to someone, and he obviously just says, "I'll pretend to be my friend." And you've known him for years, and he just feeds this guy this absolutely ludicrous stuff, and then they have lunch, and the voiceover's like, and after I had my lunch, I was pumped and ready to hit the sky. And then you just see him jump out of the airplane, and it's just got really badly photoshopped his face in action going down. I just think it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's just stuff like that where it's so much effort for something. Oh, I don't know. It's so funny. It makes me laugh.
I feel like not enough people talk about it. That's the one thing.
Oh, in this country, yeah.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Yeah.
it's more well known than my second choice.
What's your second choice?
My second choice is a show called Nirvana the Band, the show.
Thing is, I've never seen the show. I know of the guy because I watched The Dirties.
Oh, Matt Johnson.
Yeah, I know of his stuff, but I've never actually watched.
Weirdly, I haven't seen The Dirties.
Dirties, it's a weird one. It's funny, but it's
about like
it's a comedy about a school shooter, and it's quite. It gets odd.
I might watch that tomorrow.
It's an odd one, but
it's supposed to be good. Oh, have you seen Operation Avalanche?
That's one I haven't seen, and I do want to watch that.
That's really good. That's about faking the moon landing.
Yeah.
Actually. But yeah, Nirvana the Band, the show is another really tricky one to describe. I'd say this is even less well known than. Although if you go on 4OD, they're actually showing this.
Oh, they're actually.
Yeah,
because Viceland.
It's a Viceland show.
Yeah,
Viceland. Oh, do they own Viceland now? Maybe
when you go on 4D, it now says that Viceland is part of all their. Yeah,
okay.
So yeah,
that makes sense. So Nirvana the Band, the show, I would say, it's like improvised as well. Like it's I'd say it's a cross between kind of Nathan For You and maybe like actually that's not fair. It's a cross between, I'd say, Flight of the Conchords, a bit of Flight of the Conchords, because they're a band, but you never actually see them play any music. They're always just planning for this gig that never happens at this venue called the Rivoli. So it's like a struggling band. And then I guess maybe I think they describe it as like they were influenced by like the Ali G show. Like back in like the 90s, where it's them riffing in like a real life situations and seeing what story can develop. And they're perpetually stuck in the 90s as well. So there's every episode has got references to like particularly 90s culture, like Nintendo, and there's a lot of pastiche in there, and it's just that they've just got really just like big child men, really. Do you know what I mean by that? That they're just like really, you can't believe that they have survived this far in their lives, and how are they living in a house? Like but it's just joyous. It's really good, and going back to like. Because I think it's the perfect show for me. Because, oh God, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm not bored. I'm having a lovely time. Viewers. A lot of the things I've talked about already, like Home Alone, they do a whole episode, like the third episode of the first series. It's got so many references to the first Home Alone in it. It's really incredible. And I was like, oh, it's amazing. They've got like a whole episode based on GoldenEye for the N64 speedrunning. And I was just like, these are all the things I love, and it's so ridiculous how close to like my youth this program is. I mean, it's just really funny as well. They're obviously really switched on like comedy writers as well, and it's just nonsense. It's really funny.
Music. What music? Wait, before I do, this is going to look really good.
Okay.
I know we've got plenty of time. Don't know why I did that. I thought we'd film for 27 minutes, just 21 minutes. So music. What music you into?
What music you into? Oh, thanks so much for asking me.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, why do I always have to go back to when I was younger? I have to justify
the Talkboy.
Yeah, I have to justify how I've got to where I am today. So my music taste changed quite a bit. I think like I used to be into the Spice Girls was my favourite band when I was younger. I'm massively into the Spice Girls. I think Wyclef Jean as well. First CD I ever bought was Wyclef Jean featuring The Rock.
Yo, this is The Rock kicking it with the refugee camp, and you're about to smell what The Rock is cooking.
Yeah, it's called It Doesn't Matter. Look that up at home, guys.
Okay.
Go on the YouTube after this video.
Yeah.
Make sure you check that out.
Is The Rock good in it?
He just says it doesn't matter about 46 times.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, that's
alright.
I can listen to that.
You can technically listen to it, yeah.
Go on, do your best Rock impression of him saying it doesn't matter.
There's a line that always sticks with me. It sticks in my heart. No, he's got. He says, "I've got 50 Bentleys in." No, hang on. Did he say? Yeah, I've got 50 Bentleys in the West Indies. What does that mean? I've always been baffled by
I've got
that.
50 Bentleys in the West Indies.
Got 50 Bentleys in the West Indies, and then The Rock goes, "It doesn't matter." I'm like, yeah, fair point.
Why has he got? Yeah, why does he need that many?
50 Bentleys in the
Why
West
do they have to be
Indies.
in the Indies as well?
Did he buy them over there, or did he I don't know why. Has he had them shipped out?
Just they're somewhere in the West Indies, not even in a house or anything.
50 Bentleys in the West Indies.
That's that's made you
weird.
You'll be thinking about that all night now.
Oh well, yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, viewers. So yeah, I used to like that kind of nonsense. And then I got onto the cool stuff that you get into because your friends like it, I guess. So after that, I got into all the new metal stuff that everyone was into when we were in like secondary school. So things like Limp Bizkit, Korn, Linkin Park, and then there was a couple of bands that around that time that I used to like that stayed with me longer, which is what I still listen to today. So there's like a lot of punk influence stuff around. Like I remember listening to NoFX quite a lot at the time. Who else? What other punk bands were there? I guess like like Blink-182 and Sum 41 were around, and that was the thing that kind of prevailed. And then for the next I'm still into like punk and stuff like new metal. I'm not really into.
What's wrong with new metal? It's not the best genre. Yeah?
Sorry about that. That's really funny. I was saying that, and I was around my friend's house the other day, and we were listening to Limp Bizkit non-stop. So yeah, so I'm sorry for lying to you.
You still love it, Limp Bizkit.
I still love it a little bit. Yeah. I like how they own that they're just a party band now, though. I think that's quite fun. That they just do festival gigs, and everyone just like, it's just fun, and he has a good time. I'm sure he's not a nice person. I'm sure he's like horrible, but no, he's alright, isn't he? Kid Rock's the rotter, isn't he?
I don't know much about Kid Rock.
Oh, Kid Rock's like a big like Nazi. Oh god, I'm gonna be libelled. No, fuck it. Hey, Kid Rock, you're a piece of shit. A really controversial opinion. That no, he's just like a big like right wing nutcase.
Okay.
Guy. Yeah, I'm left wing, by the way. I'm one of those left wing comedians that you don't really get. You don't really get very often. Yeah, you don't really. Yeah, sure. Yeah, one of those left wing nut jobs. Have you just seen that? For the first time?
That's right. I was wondering.
Yeah. So I got into like punk, and then the big thing for me was ska, like ska punk type stuff. So like the gateway drug for that is I like describing stuff as the gateway drug. The gateway drug for that is like Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish. Those are the two that everyone kind of knows. And then got into That Wasn't Enough. Oh boy, I like that. But yeah, just keep it coming, baby. And then I got into all the bands that are like my favourite band is a band called Streetlight Manifesto. And I got obsessed with them. I saw them all over the world. Well, I say all over the world. I saw them in New York and the UK. So
you went all over the world, New York and the UK.
Yeah. I like that. I feel like a worse person wouldn't call out their bullshit. But I feel like I'm quite. What's your favourite music? You probably. I bet
to a lot of
people ask you this already.
A lot of metal at the moment.
Oh yeah.
More of the death metal stuff. Some deathcore, which is just people where you can't understand the thing they're singing.
Do you ever into grindcore?
Yeah.
I was into grindcore.
Some grindcore.
Anal cunts.
You can't say that on here.
No,
you can't. I know who they are.
Anal cunts.
Yeah. I was more listening to who was I listening to recently? Agoraphobic Nosebleed.
Yeah.
They have about 40 songs just on one album, and every single song is about 12 minutes long.
Yeah.
ACXDC.
Really?
Yeah. Computer games.
Okay, cool.
Do you play them?
I do, yeah. Not as much as I used to. Not as much as I wish I still did, really, because there's a lot of good games out at the moment. Like Red Dead Redemption, which I barely played. It's a shame. But yeah, I love computer games. Go back to the beginning. That's what I always do. My first console. No, I'm not going to do that. I've always been like a Nintendo kind of guy, really. I never owned a PlayStation because I think I was one of those annoying kids who got involved in like the console war. So once I had one, I couldn't really defect to the. I know there is like practical reasons why I don't like PlayStation now. I know you're a PlayStation guy.
Yeah, I went from going PlayStation 2, Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Then I had Xbox 360 and PS3 at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I went to PS4. And the only reason I got PS4 is because...
Oh, is it because of the E3 thing about the...
There was that type of thing, and I'm trying to remember what game I got it most for. There was The Last of Us was one
Oh yeah, yeah.
reason,
Yeah, there's a lot of games on
and I just got
PlayStation.
it because there was a few things coming out on it that I wanted to play that were only coming to
Mm.
PS4.
Yeah, there is a lot of games for PS4 that I'm quite jealous that I don't have. But I don't know, with PlayStation I always have a problem with the controller. I've never liked the controller. The I think they fixed it now. I've never played I don't think I've ever have I played a PS4. I must have played a PS4 at some point. But the trigger buttons were always not very satisfying to press.
Well, I think they're much better now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are. So I like I don't know. I always like the style of the Xbox controller. So I've got an Xbox now, but Nintendo had the most awkward controllers for a while. Like, look at the N64 controller back in the day. Oh, I've got one actually.
Yeah, N64 controller was.
Look at this piece of garbage. Look at that. That's an N64 controller. How weird is that?
That's the thing with the. Why would you put that there? No one ever used that.
No, they did use that. No one used that. Everyone held. That's how you hold it, like that. But anyway, so Nintendo. I want to talk about PlayStation having weird controllers, but Nintendo always had weird stuff going on. So
this looks better though for the Nintendo Switch. That controller looks a lot nicer.
It's really nice. Yeah, it's more like it
actually feels
quite similar to the Xbox One.
Oh yeah, that's actually quite nice.
Yes. So yeah, as a big fan of Nintendo, and I've kind of. Is it concurrently? Yeah, concurrently had Nintendo and Xbox consoles ever since, really. I also got the Switch and the Xbox One. But games, as you're asking, you didn't ask to hear my console history. Yeah.
Because you did start with, as a child, every single...
games I like. My favourite game of all time was changed quite recently when I played a game called The Witness. That came out in, I think, February 2016. Sounds about right. Feels like longer ago. But anyway, that game was I haven't been immersed in a game like that in so long. It's relaxing to play. It's a puzzle game about just drawing lines, really, and
just drawing lines. That's it. Just draw some lines. That's the whole game.
And everything on the island is connected in some way, and it's a really long game. Really intricately designed. Like the sound design is really lovely, and like visually looks really nice. And it would just. I used to have a notepad. It's one of those games where I had to like write solutions down. I had to make sense of stuff, and I had to there's a lot of things. I won't spoil it for people who haven't played it, but there's a thing you realise. Well, some people go through the whole game without realising it. But there's a whole 50% of the game which, once you realise something in the environment, you're like, oh, and then you start seeing something everywhere. And there's like, there's all these additional puzzles that you had no idea about. I just think it's incredible. I think it's the best bit of art that's ever been created. That's the highest praise you can give anything. But I can't think of any like movie, TV show, like bit of comedy or just anything. I think it's the best thing. I think it's the best. That's
maybe I need to go and give it a chance. I'm really into puzzle games. Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what,
that type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Saying before that, I think my favourite game. So I always say like cliched like top favourite games. I think people of my generation would say, which they are good games, like Ocarina of Time, maybe like GoldenEye. People would say as well, like all the N64 classics. They are really good, and I think I used to say Ocarina of Time was my favourite game. For a while, despite never actually completing it. So I felt like a bit of a fraud. I feel like I was just jumping on the bandwagon, but I said it was a good game, but I never completed it. And then I played, big fan of Portal, then I played Portal 2, and I thought that's the best game I've ever played, I think.
Did you ever do the thing on Portal with building the maps?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my friend when I was in university.
Did you do it? Did you make maps?
We would build the maps.
I did that with my cousin. Yeah. Oh man, you need to show me.
We had it on Steam. And
have you got it on Steam?
I think I've still got it on Steam.
Oh, amazing. I'm not sure
do they still keep your maps if you haven't, or does it have to be saved on an old?
No, it's on because it goes to Steam Workshop, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I'll send you.
There's just some really weird stuff where you had probably putting about 100 turrets just in a room, but there was a way to get past.
I used to do really cheeky ones where you had to be like, I don't know. I used to make like nightmare ones where you had to like manipulate the environment in a way that wasn't natural to what the game expected you to do. So me and my cousin would like pass them back and forward, and Oh yeah, it was so much fun doing that, and they obviously had like the online co-op mode.
Yeah.
And it was just like the first game. Oh, the first game I've actually played that was actually funny as well. Obviously with Steve Merchant playing Wheatley. Is it called Wheatley? Yeah, Wheatley, isn't it? That was really good. Like really self-aware, and like the first one was as well in a way with the. And it was just interesting. I like the idea of not knowing what's happening to you in a game. Some games over-explain it too much. Like The Witness, I won't say if you ever find out what happens to you, but you kind of wake up in just a dark room, and there's no text in the game at all. There's little audio tapes you find, but it's mainly like quotes from like philosophers and stuff like that. And then as you go deeper into the game, there is kind of some audio tapes you find later on that kind of explain the story, but it's not really the point of the game. The point of the game is like the exploration. Like, it sounds so. It is. Do you know what? It sounds pretentious, and it is pretentious, but it's fucking good. So play it.
Right. So we've gone through a computer game. We've gone through everything. Yeah. One of my said to people is, do you want to recommend the audience something to watch, listen to, read, anything you want to recommend them?
I've done all my recommendations. What have I seen recently that I liked? Or anything? I'm just going to talk about my friends, my comedy friends. Because I was bitching about comedy earlier, but there's actually some nice people in comedy, isn't there, Luke?
So you're recommending the people?
Yeah, I recommend some people. Because open mic comedy is hard. No, it's not. I can't take myself seriously when I say that. It's not. I mean, it's...
You just got to go up and say...
I mean, it's hard.
I joined Tinder recently, and everyone just starts laughing.
But when I say it's hard to like... I think it's hard to stay positive in it because it's very cliquey.
Sometimes if you're having a really bad gig, then you're like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this.
I mean, I personally find it difficult at the moment to be a part of the community. I don't really feel... I don't know. It's weird to say you're part of like...
Well, you're still... There's people that you know, people that you hang out with in comedy. Those are the people that if you're at a gig, you're happy that they're there. Yeah. So there is a community there because if I go to a gig and I see that there's maybe 2 or 3 people there that I know, then
I love that. I love that.
Nice. Yeah.
It's nice. So I'll recommend some people that I like. That I don't, as if people watching this,
you're gonna
go see some open mic. Check out these cats. Oh no, this is gonna be awful though because it's gonna backfire because I'm gonna name people. Then people. I'm I'm arrogantly assuming like all my friends are going to watch this, but they're going to be like, oh, so you didn't mention me in Luke Polton's video. Okay, actually, at this point, if I don't mention you and you are watching this, if you're my real friend and you have watched this far, this could be your code message. If you can private message me and say, oh, it's sad that you didn't mention me, then I'll know you've watched it. Thank you. So
there we go.
Who do I like at the moment? Actually, do you know what? I'm going to say people that, you know, my friends, you know who you are. I'm going to say people that I don't really know that well. Recently, I really like this guy called Mustafa Fekto. I think he's really funny. Do you know him?
I don't. No, yeah, I do.
Mustafa Fekto.
Yeah, I don't know what I was about to say. No,
he's really good. I was talking about him the other day. I think he's
good with him a few times. Yeah,
he's really funny. Just really like confident and cheeky. It's got good jokes. Sam Ely, I think it's really funny. I like Sam Ely. I always tell him to his face how much I love him. He's a nice guy. Let's give some of the... I was going to say, let's give some of the young upstarts. This is a bad idea, this bit. This is a really bad idea. Because, like, whoever I name, there's just going to be someone offended, like, guess he doesn't like me that much. Yeah, but anyway, I appreciate...
So you just, that's his two people that he's recommended.
Yeah, it's the only 2. It's weird ones.
So if you're bothered that he didn't recommend you, just remember he only recommended 2 people.
I like the people you've had on. I like Rob Dan.
Yeah,
he's quite nice. Hi Rob.
Yeah, he mentions Rob Dan. Doesn't like the other people that are on there.
I like James Meekin. James is a good friend of mine.
That was your recommended.
Yeah, I guess so. Just support your scene, guys. Just support live
comedy. Not.
And if you wanna put it in the bucket at the end, fold it up, please. Can we at this point? Can we fold it up?
look, if you've got £10, £20,
£20. What are they paying for shows at the comedy store?
If you haven't, at the comedy store, you'd pay maybe
£5 million.
15, 20, £30 for this. So it's free to get in, not free to get out.
Yeah.
And
you don't Rob Down's material.
And if you have only change or whatever, keep that on you. All right.
Yeah.
That's I feel like I was just digging into people there. I've seen many bucket speeches in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not just picking at one of you, okay?
What's your best?
I've done bucket speech myself as well.
Oh, look, I've just put that back on my beer.
Look, all I'll say is if you don't put money in the bucket when I MC, I'll say you don't like autistic people. That's how I catch them out. And they all come along, they all put money in the bucket.
Yeah.
And
that's how you get them. That's how you get them. You gotta have a hook, don't you?
Yeah.
You
So
have to
then
have
they're
a
all
hook.
like, oh, shit, if we don't put it in, then we hate autistic people.
Yeah, which we don't in comedy.
No.
So I tell you what, there's not enough bloody of them.
Yeah.
bloody,
too many on the
too many autists. If there's one thing you take away from this video, please, there's that's terrible.
Right.
I'm gonna say there's too many bloody autistic people on the circuit.
That's it.
I love these guys. I love
That's
these
it from
fellas.
Sam Dutton.
I love these
too many autistic people on the circuit.
Yeah.
Remember that. If you see him on the circuit, remember that's what he
Yeah.
thinks about comedy.
Yeah. Come at me, autistic people.
That
No,
is.
they probably won't.
They'll come after you now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, they won't.
They won't.
They won't.
They're very
You're too busy scared.
notoriously timid.
That is all from this coffee vlog. Thank you, Sam, for
Thank you
for
Luke.
being on
That
this.
was really fun. Thanks for having me on it.
I'm sorry, I have to end on this. It's got a fruit bowl in front.
Yeah.
And I just realised the whole time I started
That's embarrassing. You embarrassed yourself there, haven't you?
drop my carrot. I started laughing
When you
partway
get
through
out,
because
yeah.
I realised there was a carrot in your fruit bowl and I was like, don't they normally go in the fridge? But
Don't they normally go in the veg bowl?
yeah, veg bowl. Not in the fruit
It's
bowl.
a funny joke.
There's an onion in the fruit bowl as well, look.
Yeah. 2 onions.
What type of
Yeah,
fruit
right.
bowl is this? Do you eat onions?
Sorry.
Garlic in here as well. He gets an apple, puts a bit of gut. Yeah, this is how I end the coffee vlogs.
Yeah.
That's all from us today.
That's all from him.
Yeah, so see you back in the studio.
See you on the flip side. Bye.